Hi guys, this is Expand Your World, and today I'm going to show you one of my other The Hobbit sets. It is called the Battle of the Five Armies. It is set number 79017. It comes with 472 pieces. So as we can remember, it was that massive battle that took place between the five armies in front of Erebor and the town of Dale, and it was basically the armies of the men, dwarves, owls, and some of basically the eagles and Dol Guldur, or basically Sauron's forces that were fighting against each other. And in the end, the armies of the men, dwarves and owls and the eagles actually defeated Sauron's forces in front of Erebor and the town of Dale. So basically, let's have a closer look at this set. So first of all, let's start off with the minifigures. On our left hand side we have Legolas Greenleaf. Legolas Greenleaf, he is actually Thranduil's or King Thranduil's son. He has all that very nice detail of the elvish armor, which he actually wore in the second and the last movie of the Hobbit. So if we just turn him a bit around, you can actually see all the fine detail that they actually added to his hair. You can actually also see all the elvish pointy ears and that very long bow and arrow that comes with Legolas. That's part of how the traditional bow and arrows were of the owls itself. So just to turn him back. So the next minifigure, that's basically part of Azog the Defilers, Dol Guldur orcs. There are basically two of them. You can actually see all the armor and the bones or skeletons on his armor. That kind of like fine detail of printing of paint on top of his face. He comes with that massive big swords. And just want to turn him a bit there. You can also see some of the fine detail of the bones or skeletons that were added to additional to his armor. So the other figure, it is Azog the Defiler. You can actually see all that massive detail that they added to him. The scratches on his face, that armor there at the bottom of his torso, that massive hammer he has in his right hand arm, and that on his left arm you can actually see that hand that was actually cut off by Thorin Oakenshield during that battle that they had at the mines of Moria. We can actually remember Azog actually killed Thorin's grandfather and captured Thorin's father during that battle himself. So just to turn him a bit, you can actually see it's two portions that they added to Azog. So it's a very difficult figure to actually stand up. What size is it? Then the next figure, that is Thorin Oakenshield. You can actually see the very nice detail. Flip your fucking donut doos van 'n poes. So the next minifigure, it is Thorin Oakenshield. You can actually see that very nice armor and detail that they added to Thorin, the king of Erebor, after they reclaimed it back from Smaug the Terrible. You can actually see his crown there on the top of his head, with that golden sword and that golden armor. Just want to check there. There's the coat of arms of the crows there at the bottom of his torso. Just want to turn Thorin a bit. You can actually see the hairpiece detail and much more of his crown. That's really a nice detail that Lego actually added to Thorin Oakenshield. But what we can remember from the movie, that Thorin actually didn't look like this when he was actually in the battle himself. He was actually without his armor, and I actually think if he actually wore that armor, he would have survived the battle. So the next figure, that is Dain Ironfoot. You can remember there was this argument between him and the owls in the beginning of the battle. The dwarves actually fought against the owls, and as we can remember, Dain Ironfoot and from the stories of the Lord of the Rings, his foot actually was chopped off during one of the battles between orcs and the dwarves, and that's why they called him Dane Ironfoot. And what I really like is the armor and the detail that they added. And if you compare it to the armor detail with regards to the Iron Heels and Erebor, it's really different. Just to see, Dane comes with this massive axe, which is a red axe, and that massive helmet that there's on his head, and that very nice detail of that hairpiece on top of his helmet. Just want to turn him around, there you can actually see it, and I must say it really looks amazing. Just think if you had a couple of these dwarves as a collection and you created a dwarf army. Then we have Bard the Bowman. Bard is the main character from the Men of Lake Town. He actually killed Smaug the Terrible with his bow or arrow. That's how the story actually sounded like. All that mechanism, which is kind of like anti-aircraft device that they used against Smaug. But in the end, he killed him with that black arrow. And I must say the detail that they added to Bard the Bowman really looks amazing. You can actually see the armor detail that's in between his cloak. Just want to turn him around. There you can see his hairpiece and that massive long bow on his basically his bow and his arrow. So the last figure is actually this eagle. It's same to that one of the Lord of the Rings, the Battle of the Black Gates. It's not as big as the eagles that are depicted in the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings, but at least you can add 2 minifigures to the eagle himself. So yeah, I decided just to add the eagle there at the top portion to kind of like have a better view of the battlefield itself. So guys, let's have a closer look of all the additional features that were added to the set. So the first thing that we are looking at is this ballista. As we can remember from the movie, I initially thought that it was going to be used by the Dol army of the orcs, but in the end it was actually a siege weapon by the dwarves. And I must say, this weapon looks very intimidating when you look at it. The only thing that is a bit sad is basically when you shoot the ballista's arrows, it doesn't go very far. So basically you can actually see you can turn this feature to add, kind of like load the arrows at the top portion of the ballista. You can actually see that it can move upwards and downwards. They also added this features where it can be pushed and so forth. But yeah, let's kind of like have a look at how far it can actually shoot. So basically I'm going to firstly just shoot one arrow just to show you how far it goes. Oh, and there it goes off the table, and my Scottish Terrier is a bit after it. So when we have a closer look at the set, you can actually see it's kind of like depicting that old city of Dale, and we can remember it was destroyed by Smaug. So you can actually see all the deterioration that took place over the period when all the people left the city of Dale due to Smaug's destruction. You can actually see the staircase that isn't complete, all the fire, that wooden pieces there which is basically loose. You can see how you can actually move it up and downwards. Also there at the one piece you can see you can just move it up and down. There's kind of like that watchtower, kind of like putting an archer there at the top to shoot enemies from there at the top. There's this window section which you have here, you can just open it. You can also see all the snow pieces that they added. As you can remember, it was very cold when that battle actually took place, and there you can see some of the roof tiles are actually missing due to this destruction that took place of Smaug. What they actually added here is this one element. I'm not going to destroy the set, but if you push it you can actually see how it lifts up. As you can remember, there was this one scene where Legolas was actually fighting this one, I think Azog's son, and how everything was breaking up into pieces. There you can actually see how it lifts up. What is also nice is that they added all these rocky features to the set itself, because Dale is kind of like just in front of Erebor, and it's part of the mountain region. There, just at the back, you can see there's this box with a orc sword. There is an interior portion of that room where you see that windows, and there's also this lantern with fire there, and you can also remove that piece just to have easy access, or kind of like, as you can remember, create your own scene of how the battle took place, of the Battle of the Five Armies. Just to kind of like, also what is really nice is that kind of brick detail. You can actually find it a lot with the Battle of Helm's Deep, which is a new feature that they added to bricks. You can also get it in the new Castle 3-1 set that they brought out a few days ago, which I think is really amazing. And I love this detail that they added of the tiles and these arches. It's kind of like representing the architectural and detail styles of the city of Dale itself. So guys, overall I must say this is an amazing set. I know the price for the set was very expensive in comparing to the amount of pieces that you got, but the iconic minifigures that you got is really amazing. It's almost similar to that of the Avengers Final Battle that they actually brought out a few days ago, but in comparing it to the price, that Avengers set is much cost effective than comparing to this Battle of the Five Armies set. It was a really expensive set when I bought it. But yeah, overall, I must say this set is very nice. If you are a Hobbit or Lord of the Rings collector, this is a must-have set to add to your collection. It also comes with this amazing siege weapon of the dwarves that was added to the set. And overall, there isn't a lot of play features that they actually added to the set. I should have or would have recommended that Lego should have added some additional play features. But yeah, overall, I must say this is an amazing set. And last of all, I just want to mention, as I know there's a lot of Lego Lord of the Rings fans out there, I just hope Lego realizes that they actually need to bring out more of the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit collection. I know they are busy with a Lord of the Rings series, and I really hope that they bring out some more sets of the Lord of the Rings age. So overall guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like it, and I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel.